I'm not gonna lie to you, the Ultra MUI Goku situation is kind of crazy. Not that crazy, to be honest, but you're definitely one of these two people. You want him to drop or you don't want him to drop. And you're probably also one of these two people. You think he's hype or you don't think he's hype. And in that second scenario of people, it's kind of crazy to be the second person, but depending on how you answered based on the first two people I gave you, not seeing Ultra MUI as hype makes a lot of sense. At least for Dragon Ball Legends players. Emphasis on Ultra MUI Goku, not just MUI Goku, because we all love the tournament power, we all love the manga, am I right guys? And if you definitely get the MUI Goku and Beast Gohan summon animation, your head's gonna be on Mars, your head is in the sky, you're excited. But regardless, if you aren't caught up, let me lay down the groundwork as to why there's some people that are not happy about it and there's some people that are happy about it, which is probably more obvious if he is going to be the Ultra. This is all speculation in general, but I'm also expressing the community's feelings, and I want you guys to leave yourself in the comment section below, writing out where you stand. Do you want him to drop? Do you not want him to drop? And are you hype if he does drop, or are you not hype if he drops? You guys let me know which one you are. So for the guys that don't want him to drop, I'm just gonna also assume you are most likely not hype about him. However, if he did drop and you didn't want him to drop, you could still be hype about him. So the main bubble here is for the people that do not want him to drop. The reason people don't want him to drop is based on fatigue. If you are a new player in this game, so you've played this game for only a year max, maybe 2, it's less likely that you are fatigued when it comes to Ultra Instinct in Dragon Ball Legends. If you guys do not know, Ultra Instinct units, which are only Gokus, unfortunately they do not give it to Whis. Ultra Instinct Gokus get the gauge where they're able to dodge strikes and blast, and in some cases they get a little extra on top, which makes them insufferable. For example, Ultra UI Goku, this guy can draw Dokubaki impacts. If you don't know what those are, it's the time those taps. Every time you clash, if he loses, it will end as a draw, which is pretty annoying to deal with. I do think it maxes out at 3 times, but it's still annoying to deal with. And he also has the mechanic that allows him to drag the enemy back in and activate no switching, enabling him to hit a free ultimate arts. What? In his prime, you just had to be there. He was that, bruh. Red MUI Goku released in the anniversary, the 4th one, and he headlined it as the only Legends Limited. He dropped with a Sparking Blue Vegeta, but that guy is so buns. MUI Goku, he literally dodges the strikes and blasts, he has the gauge, but on top of that, he wins every Dokubaki impact. Not draw like the UI sign. He wins. He's just going to win. And if that doesn't say toxic, I don't know what does. Oh, and I forgot to mention about the red MUI Goku. Yeah, he does dodge. That's mentioned. That's a given. But then he's going to reflect damage every single time. Every time. You hit him with a strike, he dodges it, now you take damage. You hit him with a blast, he dodges it, and now you take damage. No damage for him, more damage you take. That is insufferable. And if you thought that was mad, the Blue Legends Limited that released in the 7th anniversary, he does the same thing. Literally ludicrous. It's almost like they're giving these guys a free win mechanic. But hold on, I do have to also mention his green card. If you send an attack his way, strike or blast, he's gonna activate his green card, catch you, and then hit a blue card for the free ski. And above all that, he has endurance, and they've gave him his vanish back on his main. They just want you to dodge at all times when using this character, and the enemy must rage quit if you are using a UI unit. Now, all in all, if you take these guys as individual units, to a degree, they are bearable. You can get around them. But here comes the long part. In all of these instances, you could just pair multiple UIs together. And if you've been playing in all of these guys' primes, even though I said, yeah, they might not seem that insufferable, they are. They literally are. So even as individuals in their primes, if they were insufferable, imagine putting them all together on one team. It's to the point where I've praised Ultra Instinct units over and over again, saying that if you just run 3 UI Gokus on one team, you can just dodge the whole game. Literally, from the first time account to the 180th time account, you can dodge the whole game and just counter attack. So you vanish, you float. If they send a blue card, you vanish, you float. You got your main ability with the blue UI, you vanish, you float, and even in some cases you're reflecting damage. So that's also putting you in a better position regardless. It's just a super stacked mechanic, and they layer it with extra stuff to make the unit more versatile. Dealing with that over about 5-6 years of Dragon Ball Legends, you can imagine easily that people would get fatigued, because everybody that uses UI Goku does not engage in battle. They literally sit at the back of the battlefield and they wait for their opponent to engage. And if you've ever experienced even just one UI Goku in their prime, you should understand that, and imagine that over periods of time spanning 6 years, and people also putting multiple UI Gokus on one team. Yeah. And if you still don't understand, I'm sure there was some irritation when dealing with Legend Broly units. units in this 8th anniversary, and they're not even that bad because they have to engage you at a certain point. But UI Goku players, no, we will stay back here and we will not fight. But that's the main argument for why a lot of people aren't hyped about UI Goku in general dropping. MUI Goku sign, it can be whatever. They're not hyped about it because it will make PvP insufferable. Though they may or may not actually like the idea of a MUI Goku in general. It's more pushing the criteria of why they don't want it in game, even though the reveal, the aesthetic, the art, the concept would be hype. But again, not for everybody. Now on the opposite end, it's pretty self-explanatory. The guys that do want him to drop, they just want him in the game and they want to have him probably. Let's just get out the obvious. He's hype. He's the pinnacle of Dragon Ball Super. He is him. Let's be real. When Goku was fighting Jiren, this guy broke the internet. So every time there is a conversation about Ultra Instinct Goku in any way, shape or form, it makes waves and people want to check it out. That's how serious Ultra Instinct is for the Dragon Ball franchise. It's super big. And that's not even regarding the manga stuff, but I'll get to that in a second. It's been long overdue. So a lot of people have been waiting for it. Last year they were waiting for it, in the festival they were waiting for it, now we're in another anniversary waiting for it. It's been a minute, you know. The fact that we got a Legends Limited last year did put a down on a lot of people because they want to see the Ultra variant of the mastered form, naturally. So people are getting impatient, another reason why people would want it. And there's definitely a small population of you guys that just want to terrorize other people in PvP using the dodge mechanic, whatever other busted mechanic they add on top, because this is an Ultra unit. Yeah, you guys are toxic. But of course it is fun using the Ultra Instinct mechanic. I spoke about it earlier for the dislikes in a very meta slave-esque way, but using the UI mechanic is genuinely so fulfilling. It just makes you feel good. It's so smooth, and the fact that you don't get hit is honestly exciting. You literally don't have to worry about taking damage. That's making you feel safe, play safe, and your offenses are going to be doing the most because he will be the newest unit in the game. Now to the manga stuff. We all know that the Dragon Ball Super Moro arc has been announced, the Galactic Patrol arc, and it's going to be starting in 2027 if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, it's going to be starting very soon, or at least sooner than we expected. Some people were waiting until maybe 2030 for it, but we're getting it within the next 2 years. Point being, once they start rolling out that arc, Goku uses Ultra Instinct a lot in that arc, and because of that, the hype for the tournament power version of MUI Goku is not going to be as high as the Moro arc version. So we won't want the tournament power version in comparison to the Moro arc version, especially when every single game will be rolling out Dragon Ball Super Moro arc things. So it's almost a countdown where sooner would actually be better, at least from the viewer's perception. I can't speak for all, and I still believe people would get hyped regardless, but it would be like a downer when you're expecting the manga version, which would now be the anime, but the Moro arc, you know what I'm talking about, and you get the tournament power version. It would kind of throw people off. But beyond from that, it's very self-explanatory why people would want MUI Goku in the game and also be happy and hyped for him to release in Dragon Ball Legends. Something I think I didn't emphasize that's a very important topic to address when talking about how people feel regarding Ultra MUI as a concept. Sometimes a big thing could be that it's not even about Ultra MUI Goku. It's just the tone of the celebration and what people would prefer over him. And I'm sure there's a long list of things that some people want over a Ultra MUI Goku. In some cases, they're a bit more unreasonable, but some of them are very reasonable. If I start with the unreasonable things, any 2.0s of things that we've already got, Ultra GB getting a second Ultra GB is outrageous, and we all know that, but they went ahead and did it. But if they did that for another Ultra for the finale of the celebration, I think things will begin to look very stale. So we have to consider the tone of the celebration. So any of you guys that are thinking UVB 2.0, UG4 2.0, at least in Ultra Rarity, yeah, just put the fries in the bag. I think that would be the worst thing, but I could understand people wanting that based on it being their favorite character over Ultra MUI Goku. They are still some of the most hyped things in the Dragon Ball franchise, so they should be considered, but the likeliness, nah. And we also don't want repeats. So if you're thinking G4 or another Gogeta like Fusion Reborn Super Gogeta, even though they done that in the 6th anniversary with Legends Limited GB, the fusing one, and also UG4, I don't think they should go that route, and I think a lot of people would be opposed to that in reality. But if we go on the other side and consider some picks that are actually just reasonable because they haven't got an Ultra variant, I think we could get some hits. For example, they pull out Daima. I've mentioned it multiple times, but Dokkan Battle actually had the Daima boys, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, headlining their celebration, the anniversary specifically, and there are a lot of similarities between Dokkan Battle and Dragon Ball Legends. So if Dokkan Battle are capable of releasing a unit within their celebration, it's very fair to make the assumption that Dragon Ball Legends could also do so. And there's just some other the things that are very sleeper picks but could easily be the light of the celebration, they went a different route but just produced it so well that it just hits the spot. One sleeper pick that I always like to mention is Dragon Fist Goku. I think he is the best variant of Super Saiyan 3, just based on what he does. It just looks the coolest. And I think to a degree, there's a lot of developers in Bandai that also agree, given in Dokkan Battle, they've even given Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta the Dragon Fist move, so that shouldn't be slept on. If I just had to mention a few others that could easily be more likable than an Ultra MUI for this celebration considering the tone, Buu Saga Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he could have an active gauge, end with a spirit bomb. I could see that being very valuable to a lot of people. Although I'm not for it, if they gave us the first ever Ultra tag unit, they could go for a lot of options here. For example, Resurrection of F, Goku and Vegeta, they just mix up the ending a bit, change it up a tiny bit just to make it clean for the unit. But we could even get a Goku and Vegeta from the Buu Saga as well. An actual good version of the prep time gauge. Legends Limited that just sucks. Yeah, they could actually do it good now with an Ultra. But yeah, I'm just throwing out some ideas for you guys to consider, as some people might have things like this in their head that they would prefer. I'm not saying these things are going to drop, but they're just reasons to not want Ultra MUI Goku, or even if you did want him, you might want these things more, so it'll be fine either way for a lot of people. Now, if you want my personal opinion, I am hyped. If Ultra MUI Goku drops, I will be hyped. I like MUI Goku as a concept, as an idea. If it drops in the game, I would see the reveal and be like, wow, this is insane. I already know they're gonna impress me, so I'm gonna be moved by it. But do I want him to release in game? Not necessarily. I'm a player of 8 years and I already know what PvP is gonna look like when Ultra MUI Goku is running the game. You're gonna see him every single game. The fatigue will hit immediately because I know how players are gonna utilize him. They're gonna stand still and avoid confrontation because that's optimal when using an Ultra Instinct unit. And I don't blame players for doing that, even though I'm not happy with the players doing that, because everybody's trying to enjoy their new unit and they want to win the game after all. But the mechanic does not incentivize people to play aggressively. Sure, people can, but the odds are you're gonna see a shortcoming if you play UI Goku like that. So for that reason, I'm not very ecstatic if he does release for the gameplay purposes. But in terms of a reveal as an idea, how it will sell, I'm all for it, and I want Dragon Ball Legends to see that success. So drop it for all means. But would I want it over other things? For example, a new UG4, a Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Not necessarily. I would even take a Diamond Super Saiyan 4 Goku over MUI Goku, at least for this celebration. But that's my personal want and not necessarily what I think is going to drop. Just pushing the idea that it's not the unit that bothers me, it's the gameplay. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next